Well, joining me this afternoon is Jake Fiskajon from Gate City Bank to talk about a partnership with the city of Bismarck to offer homeowners low interest for repairs on their homes. Jake, thanks for joining us here on the KFOR Plus News Desk.
Always, Jay. Always a pleasure to be here.
Well, Jake, tell us a little bit about the incredible opportunity now for Bismarck residents that you're offering at Gate City Bank.
Yeah, we're very excited. So we are rolling out, this is our inaugural year in the city of Bismarck for the Neighborhood Reinvestment Initiative. And so what that is a community partnership that we've rolled out at different communities throughout our location in North Dakota and Western Minnesota. And it's really a partnership with the city to determine where are those needs, where maybe there's some distressed properties or some areas that could use some rehabilitation, grow those property tax values, but also do so in terms that are favorable for the consumer to be able to unlock those capabilities to do those renovations that maybe they've just been waiting on because it wasn't financially feasible. And so it's a great opportunity for homeowners to be able to take advantage of reduced rate interest and also be able to try to do some of those renovations that maybe they've been putting off.
Sure. Jake, I know in the, press release that you sent out, it said for mature neighborhoods. Are there any particular neighborhoods that you've got in mind, or is it open for, the whole community?
Yeah, and so that was an important part of the conversation that we had with the city of Bismarck is determining what fits the need and criteria. And so after discussion with them, we came to a conclusion, and based on their guidance and what worked best for them, the application and full detailed guidelines are on their website, but there is no designated zone. So there is no Renaissance zone or downtown area, for instance, but there is limitations as it has to be an assessed value of $250,000 or less, and the home needs to be 30 years or older. So it could be eligible throughout the entire community as long as it's inside the city of Bismarck boundaries and it meets those guidelines.
Okay. What projects qualify for the reinvestment initiative?
And there's a wide range. The big focus is that it's applicable to the home renovation that's the subject property. And so whether that's something where it's making something more ADA accessible, it's radon mitigation, maybe some siding or some deferred maintenance on the interior, a whole plethora of different things. And the project parameters are out there on the city website, but we always welcome the call as well. So if you're on the fence or maybe you're unsure if the project that you're looking at would meet the scope of what this is intended for, we would welcome a call. Our representative, Haley Kuntz, is the main point of contact, and she can go through any of those application questions if there's some uncertainty there.
Now, did I hear you right when you said, Jake, that this is a yearly thing that you go through? And if it is, how long have you been doing this initiative in Bismarck?
Correct. And so this is our first year with Bismarck. Last year, we rolled it out in the city of Mandan, which was a great success. So we're very pleased to be able to bring that to the city of Bismarck this year. Applications open up on March 18th. So we are excited about next week for this to roll out. And the deadline is through October 31st. So that does not mean that the project needs to be completed by then, but that is the deadline for an application for when it needs to be received.
Sure. What kind of decision process for those who are accepted or denied? I guess it's a loan, so I guess you just go off of whatever you need to do as a bank would do that.
Correct. Standard underwriting guidelines. And so the biggest benefit to the consumer, of course, is there are some favorable financing terms as far as outpayments are handled the first year as you're doing those repairs. And then, of course, the biggest incentive being the rate is reduced compared to what you traditionally see for these loan types with the current interest rate environment.
Right. Are there any limitations or restrictions with this?
There are. So it does need to meet those criteria that we discussed. You need to be in an eligible area and then also need to be for a qualified repair. But with that as well, the loan amount can be as little as $10,000 and upwards of $100,000. So as long as it meets those criteria, it could be a great opportunity for homeowners to take advantage of.
Yeah, absolutely. Jake, let's talk about the loan process. If you're a resident in Bismarck and you're interested in this, what's the first step? And I know you said it opens up, you said the 18th. That is next week, I believe. So what should they do? Should they go online? Should they stop in and talk with a rep? What's their first step?
So they can visit the city of Bismarck's website. That is out there, and it's the bismarcknd.gov, and then you can look up the neighborhood oh my goodness, Neighborhood Reinvestment Initiative. And so that is on their website. That spells out all the details of everything. And the first step is submitting an application. That's where the city's going to review that to ensure that it meets their planning and zoning requirements. It does meet the basic criteria set forth. And if so, then that application is then passed along to the City Bank to do your traditional underwriting. If there are any questions as to how if it pertains to planning and zoning or regulatory reasons, Daniel is a great point of contact at the city. Otherwise, if it's just general inquiries, maybe what would my payment be? Is this something that would work for me? You can reach out to us directly at Gate City Bank, and we'd be more than welcome to answer those questions.
I know in the article that you sent out to us, I think you set aside $2 million, so it would behoove the folks to probably act a little sooner rather than later on this, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we would love to be able to ensure that we exhaust all those funds. You know, we've been doing this across North Dakota and Western Minnesota since 2003, and it's been exciting to see this continuation of growth for this program throughout our different communities. We've onboarded different communities over the last few years in particular, and this year we're excited to be having $23 million set aside to be able to use to these different initiatives throughout our footprint.
Now, would you say, would you gauge the success of this program, Jake, by all of that being lent out, all of that $2 million? Is that how you would gauge this initiative as a success?
You know, I think success can be viewed from a couple different standpoints. We really try to work with the city to determine what would success look like for you. You know, how are we putting these dollars aside, and are they really being maximized to help grow the tax base, to increase assessed values, to neighborhood beautification projects? So I think that there may not be a direct dollar tied to what is success in that area, but it's also exciting for us to be able to, as part of our philanthropic mission at Gate City Bank, is giving back as much as we can. So if we can exhaust that full amount of those funds that we've set aside at reduced rates, that's a great win for us, because we're happy to give back in our communities and continue to invest in them.
Well, I think it's a great idea. Jake, thank you so much. We always appreciate you visiting with us here on the KFYR Plus News Desk. And best of luck to you and we'll hope to talk to you again very soon.
Yeah, it's great to see you as always, Jake. Enjoy the weekend.
You too now.